This poem is dedicated to my cousin. She's called Lydia. Her nickname is Nora. So not just Nora, but then to all the college girls out there. The poem is called A Mess to Clear. You see, your looks privilegedly fashioned, page 75.
Thank you.
Your looks privilegedly fashioned. Your skin's sheen shines of expensive designer lotions, your bags Louis Vuitton, thanks to your new guy, a darling of rank, a devolution officer, a sweet sir, a hot sir. His age is gold, never old yet. His shiny bald head, shiny like Oyo's, that's why he puts on a Kangol cap. His shiny bald head matches his shiny counterclad. He is your fine wine, yet an age mate to your tutor. But now, Nora, my little cousin, imprisoned you are to the painful pleasure, a cage of fashion chained to the air roots of flesh-hungered animals, clocked as devolution tours. Your sir's cell of life grows innocently under your silver-hungry belly. With the delivery of the growing cell, a second wife you dream of. Poor you. Your firm chivalry to your sir, a raucous rivalry to his bitter wife. She'll buy a grumpy goon out of her dusty jealousy to clear the mess, for fear of having a 50th co-wife. Your mother will childlessly mourn out her womb to another child of the world who forgot the infamous line, "We are sending you to campus to read."
Yeah.
Those are the grandmothers when they're sending you to campus.
I figured out who that is.
You figured out.
Yeah.
And she died. Painful death.
Sadly painful.
Yeah,
As in that death inspired this poem.
exactly.
My God. Poets are geniuses.
The death was insane.
Wow. Some depth there. We won't say who that is, but I guess everybody has figured that out. Okello, what are you performing?
Well, I'll perform the poem on page 15. I own two left feet. I was bred from the bread, baked from ancient millet, seasoned by our ethics. To dance your beat, I can't, not even move my feet, because I own two left limbs. I was taught to sway like the breeze to our beat, the Nyabingi beat, the ancient beat of Kente, where grace and glamour, swaying and chanting were our lilt. Then came kangaroo style, carried deceptively in a pouch of ever-fading
Contemporaneousness.
Okay. Then cuckoo dance followed, but time slaughtered it. Hippo style unhesitated, but obviously left in a third. And my style, my grandmother's style, eroded to primitive classifications of tourist mockatainment. Bend over style stood tall, along her wine and jiggle sister. Then I was strangled by Nyongwa style, to the thought that my sister and I could no longer sway to our beat, our grandmother's beat, but dance provocatively with vibrating greased waists.
And what is the interpretation of that?
It talks about now the contemporary dance styles and the lyrics of the songs that we listen to nowadays. And actually it compares it to the former styles, the traditional styles maybe, or something of that sort. It talks about like just constructive art or entertainment.
I think just to expand further, they are talking about the dance styles that their grandmothers and great-grandfathers enjoyed back then. Things that time has eroded, and we have embraced other things that were not so normal to us. And so the big question is, what is modern and what is that which is a traditional thing? Yeah. A man in our times and age who is listening to the timeless music of the 60s, is he a modern man? And an aged man, a 70-year-old grandmother dancing to cuckoo dance, is she modern or a traditional woman? So that is a conflict. It's a battle of where to belong.
And then remember also our dances now our traditional dances have been made just a mere tourist, not entertainment but mockatainment, whereby they come and laugh. Hey, the Maasais are dancing well. Let's give them 50 bob.
And our gods have been left to rest in shelves in some archives in Western countries.
So we think we are entertaining them, but they are mocking us. So it's mockatainment.
Mockatainment. Okay.
You see, these are the kinds of dance that you can't dance such a style with your sister. You see, the past dancing styles. I'm a stand-up comedian, so I can stand a bit.
Yeah, please stand.
You see, the past dancing styles, you could dance just swaying. Your sister is there.
Right.
Just dance. Normal, yeah. But then
Which
nowadays,
style is this one?
It has no name.
it has no
dance.
name.
Just
You're
dance.
moving.
You're just swaying, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swaying.
Yeah.
You're swaying.
Yeah.
You can dance. It's a dance that you can dance with your sister. But then, these are the styles, the current ones like bend over. Can you dance bend over with your sister, for example? You can't. Honestly, you can't. Your blood sister. You can't.
No. Something stood out to me on page 5. I'd never looked at it that way. Where you said the word dedication starts like the word dead. Printed words are immortal, they live forever. This book is therefore not dedicated, but livicated.
Yes.
It's just genius thinking, I think. I mean, it's just, where does that come from? Even before you go to why you dedicated it to your uncle.
The word dedicated just sounds like dead. So, livicate something, don't dedicate. And then this is my uncle, the guy who died, my uncle Stephen Yeke. When I was called to join a high school, my mother really wanted me to join some national high school near our school. I had qualified. My marks had qualified me for that national school, but then I didn't choose it.
Okay.
So my mother went there to look for a chance there. And then my uncle Stephen told my mother that let the boy go to the school he's been chosen to go to.
Was it a national one?
It was not a national one, but
Okay.
it was a provincial one.
Okay.
Then, fortunately or unfortunately, the other school that my mother wanted didn't have drama or music. They were just academics. So you see, my talent would have gone to waste.
Yeah.
But then she listened to my uncle. Then when I joined campus, I was called to do education.
Okay.
I was to be a teacher, be bed arts, so English literature. So after that, after first year of doing education, I changed to film and media and theater. Then again, we were at loggerheads with my mother. And then my uncle again stood up for me and said, let the boy choose what he wants. Yeah.
Wow.
So he believed in self-willingness
Yeah.
in pursuance of personal interest.
Yeah. And it is him to...
He's one guy who could back you up in whatever you wanted to do, no matter how bad it was. So long as you love it, he'd back you up and pray for you. He was a prayerful guy.
Yeah.
He was a bishop.
So for your grandmother, I want you to read that before we go to Oyo's reading. Page 61.
61.
Gawi, for my grandmother Gaudensia. Is that her real name?
It's called Gawi, Gaudensia. Now,
That's her name?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gaudensia is a mad woman. The story is how she can tell you a story. Sometimes I normally tend to say that I'm not creative. I'm just doing what my mother and her mother.
So you got
normally
it
do.
from them?
From them.
Is it?
True. The other day was my birthday, and
Yeah.
see a picture that my mother took. This is my mother for my birthday. My mother loves telling stories and enacting them. It can be a simple story, but then the way she will tell it to you.
Wait, so she bought cake?
Yeah, she bought cake.
Herself.
For my birthday.
Yeah.
No, my wife bought the cake. So when she was eating the cake,
Yeah.
there was a section that was supposed to go in my house.
Where were you?
In her house. We were celebrating my birthday in my mother's house.
Okay.
So we divided the cake into two. I was supposed to be going with one to my house,
Yes.
and then the other one
At your knife.
and some of her the kids that she stays with.
Yeah.
So she took what was remaining for them
Yeah.
and put it next to her chest, and then she said, "Mwenye anataka keki anipe." And then she made that kafani face.
Oh my gosh, she actually looks like pure comedy in that photo. You guys have seen the photo?
Yes, we have.
Oh, you've seen it?
We have seen the mother.
You've seen the mother?
Actually, the first day, Oyo came home and then I took Oyo to greet her. She told me, "Now the madmen I've met." She didn't greet Oyo. That's the first thing she said. "Now the madmen I've met."
Just looking at him, she decided.
She decided
The madman.
that was the madman.
Do I look mad, honestly?
There's something she saw in you. We may not see it, but her wisdom. So anyway, so you're saying now her mother, Gawi.
Now, Gawi is also a mad one.
Okay.
So before Bob reads this piece, I want to say that I think women and art is just one and the same things.
Inspiration.
Yeah. Because you see, most of the forms of art, be it paintings, be it poems, like people find them attractive when they talk about women. Yeah. Because women are just attractive, even the way they were created. I don't know if Bob loved.
What's Boy laughing at? Why are you laughing? His own,
Yeah, even
but
the
there's one,
title, Maiden Melodies.
but there's one where which poem is where you were given an ugly wife? It's Wageshi.
Next time you see Wangeshi.
It's Wageshi.
Yeah, so there's something fancy with art
And women. Why
yeah.
do you think that's the case? Like, why do women inspire poets or poetry?
I think men naturally, we have a soft spot for the suffering of women.
The suffering.
Away from that, I trust that.
You see, just a minute. If you make a joke about a man, we will laugh
Okay.
no matter what. But if you make a joke about a woman, we will say that you are insensitive.
Is it? But I thought, what is this I've heard? I hope I quote it right. Like, bar talk is mostly centered on women and just men laughing at conquests and things
Those
like
are drunk
that.
men.
Those are drunk men.
Look at the stand-up comedies on our TVs. Very few of them, the punchlines come from the men. If it's the women, the punchlines come in a way of celebrating them. We're celebrating African mothers today. Eh? Do you imagine my mother used to do this? And then people laugh, celebrating.
But they'll never stand there to say
have you
negative.
ever had a drunk stand-up comedian doing a joke about a drunk mother?
Kevin Hart? No?
About a drunk mother?
No.
Never.
No, his mother was prayerful.
A drunk father?
Yeah, many. Those are the majority.
The majority, not the majority, all of them. All drunk characters in comedy are men, not women.
Okay.
Clean the drunk. Can't we have a clean the drunk with a female clean the drunk? Man.
So you're saying when you write or speak about women, it's in positive light?
Most of the time. And then women don't have that hard feeling of but
No, women catch.
Yeah, women catch.
Yeah.
But then men, we don't have that hard feeling.
You saw, where did your book have something like ugly wife? You were given an ugly wife. What is that?
Ugly is an adjective, just like beautiful. So
But that is not
standard
positive.
measure. You say
They're busy here telling us how they praise women in there.
it's not
He was
about.
heartbroken. It came from heartbreak.
I have never been heartbroken. My heart keeps changing. You see, no, the point is why most art is centered on women is, I believe it's only God. If God is a man, like we address him as he, it's only God who's a man who has the ability to create, like he molded humans. Away from that, it's only women who can create. And artists are creators. And so that creation power can only be channeled to women. We are creators on our own.
Dude, you're so deep, man.
We're saying, we're saying,
You're really insisting on this one.
men are nothing without women, and I want to believe there's a way in which women inspire us. Inspiration must not be on the positive end. So my ugly wife was an inspiration too. I talked about a woman at the end of the day. It was a woman I was addressing.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have the ability to create, just like we artists. And that is why there's a line that goes that poets are gods. A male poet is a god because they have the ability to create. Bob has brought to page and to life. And we who didn't know Gawi, we now know her. He has created a character for us and added to our friend list. We now know Gawi in the abstract world.
Yeah.
So he becomes a god. He's created Gawi. With a small G. Yeah?
Amazing. Amazing. So let's hear about Gawi and tell us first about her before you read about her.
Gawi is a strong woman. She's suffered raising her 5 kids. So she's comedy, she's drama, she's stories, she's narratives. There's a time I used to write about night runners. She used to tell me all stories about night runners, how to catch a night runner.
How do you catch a night runner?
If it's a night runner who jumps at the door, you don't bolt the door. You just push it, and it stays that way. So when the night runner comes and jumps at the door, he slams it and goes with it inside there. It's open, so ataingia nayo, and then beat him down there. And if it's a female night runner and you're a male, it might be a lucky day.
These are true stories.
Those are her stories.
Even your poster has changed when talking about the female. You slouched a bit and you felt a bit kingly. Really?
That is the power of the creator.
It's the power of the creator.
Exactly.
Let's read about Gawi, your grandmother.
So Gawi, for my grandmother Gaudensia, your once glowing golden complexion, now dimmed by raging wrinkles of age, but we love you still, Gawi, Gaudensia. The rainbow of our family, red rose is your love. You are growth and lineage, the green prosperity of us. A royal queen, women's dignity, your emblem. Flowers purple, I pluck you. Our juicy orange with sweet love. Your love quenches well. Gawi, always there like the sun. Our sky of hope, prayer, motivation, and hard work. More life, Gawi, is my wish for you. More love, Gawi, is my gift for you.
Has she read it? Have you read it to her?
I read it to her in mother tongue.
What was her expression, reaction?
She was happy.
She didn't cry? It's such an emotional one.
No, she told me that now you want to use this one to rob people. She calls me Chokora, Makanga. She has a lot of nicknames.
For you? Why?
It's in her nature to give people nicknames.
Oh, I see. Oh, the way she gave. No, that's your mother who gave him madman.
They also give them nicknames.
Who?
Them. The way I also give them nicknames.
Oh, the way you, yeah. So your family is a thing. You give people nicknames.
Kind of.
I know. What's my nickname?
I find before the show ends.
Before the show ends.
Maybe a female Che Guevara.
At Yahoo?
The cap.
It's what Reverend said. We have. Okay, so as we conclude, Mboya, what were you reading?
The speaking poem on page 45.
Page 45.
Yeah. Assonance accelerates Agnes' days, but brutally Brian bribes alliteration to try violating Violet's consonants, since she hates tasting fake baked cakes, giving her memory in her exam days, plus musicality in many ways. We're not reading to find content or anything. We're just reading it for the musicality in it, the beauty and the rhythm and how he is trying to incorporate styles and explaining them, giving very typical examples. These things are examined in exams at school. We did exams with assonance and stuff. John is a pig. The mighty metaphor Samuel says, when differentiating metaphors from similes, when Ben was as black as coal, or he was tall like a giraffe, as and like make Samuel smile, for they only appear in a simile. When Father Cain's Paul, pap, pap, to Paul's sister, the sound is tap, tap. Yet for Samuel, it's an idiophone. For idiophones exist in no dictionary. From England is Sir Jack saying the cane goes whack, whack, which is an onomatopoeic pack. Oh, what an internal rhyme at this time, making the lines musical. Hillary taller than a giraffe, Alan shorter than a hammer, respectively hyperbole and understatement, mental picture created, or figurative language, or stylistic devices. What a memorable musical repetition. Sweet, sour is a contrast of words, oxymoron, Otieno recalls. This is the beginning of the end. Deep down, Otieno is shallow, paradox, Otieno recalls, a contrast of statements. The speaking poem, personification, the voice of life given to words innate on dead wood, a poem on paper. He has tried to illustrate all the possible poetic devices deployed in creating a poem. And right from the title, I love the last paragraph of this, the last stanza of the poem. The speaking poem, personification, the voice of life given to words innate on dead wood, a poem on paper. So away from us reading poetry for entertainment and the hype in it, he educates a lot. His poems educate a lot.
So I know you wrote a book. I know it's very hard for an artist to pick a favorite. The way a parent finds it difficult to pick a favorite child. Maybe yours didn't. your family is unique. But which is your favorite poem here?
I have two.
You have two?
Because
nice.
they embody my ideologies towards life.
Okay. Which ones?
Spirits of Nature.
What page?
Spirits of Nature is on page 9, and Prayer of the Insane on page 14.
So I will read Spirits of Nature, then you close with Prayer of the Insane.
It's okay.
Spirits of Nature. Like the sun sets with care, knowing it will rise. Like the clouds exist with care, not knowing their next shape. So should our lives be, free, like the spirits of nature, free, but with care.
Anything you do, don't worry about the outcome, whether it will be negative or positive. Do it, enjoy it, but then be careful.
Got it.
Don't drink and drive. Drink and eat.
Okay.
And drive at a reasonable speed.
Okay, so we close the show with Prayer of the Insane. If they want to reach you, where can they reach you?
You can reach me on Facebook. My name is Bob Odhiambo. You can also reach me on Instagram. On Instagram, my page goes by the name BOB Arts Gallery.
B-O-B.
BOB Arts Gallery, B.O.B Arts Gallery. That's why I post on Instagram. My Instagram page is about posting my paintings.
Oh, you paint.
I paint. I also take pictures. I'm a photographer. My photography page on Instagram is called Bobography.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so you know how to reach him. If you missed any of it, find it on our social media. That's KTN Life and Style. We say goodbye on a Prayer of the Insane.
Prayer of the Insane. Give me hunger, you unpredictable insanity. Give me a lightning of words to thunder out sense, O you who motivates minds by 3 a.m. orders. That's the insanity of the creativity. Give me appetite to drink the immortal ink of scribes. Give me lead soup I drink and drown in insanity's water, to fish out more words and proper parables that would speak to mankind. Give me a plate of asphalt sprinkled with potassium, soup it with hot water into smaller fathomable pieces. I want to explode so that these paintings of words Picassoed in my mind are spread worldwide. Give me hunger, pain, and want. Shut me out with failure and shame from your doors of silver and fame. Yet, leave me a little compassion, a voice to speak to me in the end of the day, a hand to touch me in a dark room, breaking the inner loneliness that silver and fame fetches. I beseech you, sweet saccharine insanity.
Bwana wala wapigi makofi.
Pigeni makofi.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you to all of you for coming.